Thirdly, I draw attention to what I think is a very novel feature, the willingness of significant sections of workers to show sympathy or solidarity for other workers who are taking action. In other words, workers who themselves are not on strike as such, but being prepared, for example, to refuse to touch tainted goods handled by workers who crossed a picket line and scabbed, or actually taking strike action in support of other groups of workers and then pushing in demands on their own employers. And it leads William Kneller, who was the secretary of the Manchester and Salford Trades and Labour Council of the day, to observe, and I quote, "For the first time in England, the sympathetic strike was evoked on a large scale and effectively used as a method of industrial warfare." And here, what I sort of argue in the book is that it was actually the fundamental strategic innovation of the period. And I think it's captured beautifully in some of the transport strikes in Manchester, where there were 18 different but simultaneous strikes taking place. And you see George Asquith, the ubiquitous government advisor, forced to rush up to Manchester, is ensconced in Manchester Town Hall for 5 days and nights, negotiating with each of these 18 different groups of workers who were in different trades, different trade unions and so on, but all of whom pledged their solidarity with each other to refuse to go back to work until all of them had won satisfactory agreements. And there's many other examples of solidarity, tremendous solidarity mounted for the Dublin lockout of 1913, including 2 bouts of unofficial strike action by railwomen. Remarkable occupational unity and solidarity shown in the 1911 Liverpool General Transport strike, in which you see really the partial suspension of religious hostility between Protestant and Catholic workers in a city marked by its sectarian divide. And more broadly, you see the way in which rank and file activists in a whole number of unions fight to try to overcome the inherent fragmentation and sectionalism of existing structures of unionism, predominantly craft-based form, in favour of industrial-wide forms of union organisation. And one of the high points of this is to lead to a single industrial union, the National Union of Railmen, the forerunner, of course, of today's RMT.